Thank you so much to the touchdown team. They do it again tomorrow between 3 and 6. A Reese in the building, and you could feel the electricity in the building with all the young people that came out here to come and see A Reese. It's always great to see when stars are for the kids. I love it. A Reese, all the support from the touchdown there. 10 after the hour 6. Two coaches to kick off there. Rulana Mokoena handling the media out in Egypt there when asked questions about Sundowns. Do they feel as if the referee gave them the match there? He handles them in what must be a 6-7 minute answer. You can go watch it on social media. Then after that, Jose Ribeiro of Orlando Pirates, speaking about Orlando Pirates in front of goals, particularly with Makopa there being the topic of discussion. Remember, both teams are in action today. You've got Sundowns playing Al Ahly. That's live on SABC Sport. We're going to be showing that game alongside with every single match in the African Football League live here on the SABC Sport. And of course, the other one is live at 7:30, so you can be able to watch that match as well. It's Orlando Pirates that is going to be in action today as well. They take on Cape Town Spurs, and they could be better in front of goal, can't they? Currently, Pirates find themselves sitting in 13th after 7 matches played and 9 points. I think Zakhele Lepasa still leads with the goal scoring. There are 3 goals this season in the league for Zakhele Lepasa, and that's where I think Jose Ribeiro is speaking about needing more goal scorers and more goals. It's 11 after the L6. Welcome to it. Today, we're going to be speaking to Coach Desiree Ellis. She was in the studio. She came in, and we had to send her home simply because she wasn't well. She wasn't well. She was coughing, and we didn't want everybody else in the studio. I mean, we've got guys with the cameras because you can watch the show live every single day. And when you've missed it, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Metro FM website, you can go onto our TikTok page and our Instagram page to watch the show. We don't want everybody endangered. And it's the coach that said, Andile, I want to make everybody sick. So let me just go home and we'll do it on the phone. So we'll give her a call and we'll speak all things Banyana Banyana. And of course, there are matches that are live today. There's one that's live right now. The match should have kicked off in about 2 minutes ago. So I'll put it on the telly, so I'm able to give you the scores as we go along. It is TS Galaxy versus SuperSport United. Am I seeing right? Is it 1-1 already? It's 1-1. It's 1-1 already. TS Galaxy and SuperSport United. 9 minutes played. And it's 1-1 already. 9 minutes played. I'm not sure who the goal scorers are. I'll take a look and I'll let you know. Lyle K scoring for SuperSport United. I'll let you know who scored for TS Galaxy, but it's 1-1 already. Pirates scoring, SuperSport scoring in the 7th minute, and TS Galaxy returning it a minute later in the 8th minute. 9 minutes have been played and 2 goals have already been scored there. Let's take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, let's speak to Coach Desiree Ellis. Beating New Zealand, who could only put on 167 after we'd gone 300. We went after that. We'd gone 357 for 4 rather after 50 overs. They came on 167 in 35.3 overs. I was already in studio by the end of that match there. But well done to them. When you look at the scorecard as well, I mean, South Africa, we're doing so well with the bat, isn't it? 114 for Quinny. Temba with 24. Hasn't been at his best in this tournament, has he? Hasn't been at his best in this tournament. But I wonder, is it the pressure that still sits on him that Temba has not quite been at his best when you look at what the opening batsmen have been able to do? David Miller with 53, Rassi coming in as well from the Deson with 133 there. But the captain, Temba Bavuma, on 24, Klaasen with 15, Makram with 6 as well to put up their 357, and we obviously won that there. Brilliant from the Proteas. They need all our support now. The Boks are done. They're at a World Cup. Maybe let's perhaps shift focus to them there. Speaking of shifting focus, let's go now to Banyana Banyana coach Desiree Ellis, who joins us on the line. Des, how are you?
Man, I'm struggling a bit with the cold, but I just want to go back to the Proteas. They've shown that if they bat first, we can really put up a good score and defend it. The game we lost is we batted second. So maybe that is the way to go, guys.
How do you know Coach Desiree Ellis is from Cape Town? Cricket is in her blood. Listen to that. Jump straight to it. Coach, you watched the Springboks. Where were you when the final whistle went? Where were you? Where were you watching the Springboks from?
We were in the meeting room, players and staff watching it on a big screen. And that last few minutes we were not watching, we were just walking around, willing the referee to blow, willing the ball to go out. And then after that, it was just chaos and celebration.
What does something like that do to a team like Banyana, watching the Springboks fight in that manner, watching their own really in sport as well, buoyed by nothing but the national team flag and national pride? What does that do to you and your team in that moment when you're watching it?
Look, I think we have the same ethos where players go out and they know who they're playing for. But just watching that as well, just gives you goosebumps. And you're playing 2 days later, and you're telling yourself, listen, we got to do something similar to raise the hope of the nation, to keep everybody hope, and to put smiles on people's faces, because that is what the Springboks also do. They play with everything they have, and we are similar in that.
For a very long time, the World Cup, I feel like the Women's World Cup has become even bigger in recent years, but the Olympics have always been such a pride of women's football, haven't it? And we're on the verge of qualifying, Des. We're so close.
Yeah, having missed out in 2020, was a real downer after going to the 2019 World Cup. So, everybody's putting their best foot forward. 2 tough games against DR Congo, and a big up to the players and the staff, in really giving everything that they had. A lot of players missing because of injury and exams, etc. But I think the girls were absolutely magnificent in the way they went about the job. And now we're not playing Botswana. Watching the game last night, we're playing Tanzania. It's a different team, a team on the rise. They've come to COSAFA, have done really well. And you're not going to take any team for granted. You look at the DR Congo team, are pretty good, decent players, lots of physicality, lots of strength, lots of speed. So we're not going to take any team for granted, because that is the goal, to go to the Olympic Games after having missed out in 2020. But we got to make sure that we are at our absolute best.
If there is such a thing, it feels like this is the golden age, so to speak, of Banyana Banyana. When you look at the achievements of what they've gone to do, I mean, it's the same span of a team that you won the biggest trophy in Africa with, took to the World Cup where they did ever so well, and now qualifying for the Olympics as well. It feels very golden agey, doesn't it? It feels like it's that one culmination time when all the players are at the right peak, the coaches perfectly mended with their players. It just feels like a good train at the moment that's going at perfect speed.
Look, over the years, we've brought in a lot of players over the years when others have stepped out and, inculcated them. Now again, we've got players that we've inculcated into the we've inculcated players, and the Nicoles and those players, they've been part of our system for a while. But we get players ready to then take the step up. And I mean, she was absolutely magnificent. So, for the other players that haven't been to competition, surely you want to go to the Olympics if you've missed out on the World Cup as well. And if you've gone to the World Cup, you obviously want to go to the Olympics as well, having missed out on in 2019. So I think we have a really good group of experience and youth. And that mix has held us in good stead over the years.
I mean, with no disrespect to Tanzania, but surely Banyana Banyana beats Tanzania, Coach.
Look, Andile, the World Cup has shown you cannot take any team for granted. The World Cup has shown that the rankings don't mean anything. Ethiopia, Cameroon had to come from behind against Uganda, 2-0 down. So you cannot take anything for granted, because before you know it, you're down, and then you're chasing the game. So we have to make sure that we control both games and get the result that we need to go into the final round. But before that, we obviously have the Burkina Faso game, which is a final qualifier for WAFCON, and it's important that we get over that hurdle to make sure that we have the opportunity of defending the trophy.
You had a lot of players not available to you. Is it injuries? Is it fatigue perhaps from all the football, including the World Cup before? Is it timing? What was it that made some of your players unavailable for you?
It's a combination of things, and some have picked up injuries. Some are busy writing exams. I know Noko had a visa issue, the same as Jermaine. That's why Jermaine did not travel for the first leg. And then Simakolo is busy with her end of last semester, and if she misses any more classes, she won't get her degree. I think she said so when Melinda got injured on the UWC Sundowns game, so they obviously had to withdraw from the team. So all of those things. Taylor got injured at COSAFA Cup. Novula withdrew due injury, got injured. We all know about Refu Bejani and Bambanani. Then you had Bongeka, writing on the 26th and writing on the 1st. You had Ncube writing a crazy schedule with the matric exams. We had the Shamati twins writing 23, 24, 25, 27, so all of those things. We even called up one or two other players, and they were also writing exams. And it's a tough time now, especially for the university students, that if they don't write, then they fail. So we have to also make sure that they prepare for life after football.
Still a lot to talk about with Catch Desiree Ellis, coach, of course, of Banyana Banyana. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we continue the conversation. Remember, you're always a part of it. Give us a call on 086 000 2160, WhatsApp on 060 552 7303. It's a Mighty Metro FM Sports that amplified with Andile. I am Andile Ncube at the moment. I've got coach of Banyana Banyana, Desiree Ellis, with us. There is a game on currently in the DStv Premiership. It is TS Galaxy that take on SuperSport United. 21 minutes have passed, and the score is 2-1. TS Galaxy 2 scoring in the 9th as well as in the 18th minute. SuperSport United 1 scoring in the 7th minute through Lyle Lake. Vidal scoring that first goal. I'm not sure who scored the second, but I'll keep you updated with that there. Coach, speaking of goal scoring, I saw you assist. You've got a new assist queen there, Nicole Michael.
She's been part of our camp for a while, and sometimes we bring players in to get them ready to make sure for that step up. But we've seen in the league, if you watch TS Galaxy on a regular basis, that's the norm, where she brings in those crosses and for players to run onto. And we kept saying stay out wide, and then Closer came on and those two fantastic passes. But if you look at the movement of Nicolo moving away and creating even more space, that really opened it up, and it was two similar passes for two similar goals. So, just glad that she played so well.
And then this is something that's plagued you and been a topic of discussion for a very long time since just before the World Cup. It intensified during the World Cup and continues to be now. Andile Dlamini continues to be selected by you as a goalkeeper, as part of your squad. Firstly, Coach, what is the thinking behind your goalkeeping staff? Have you decided you've got a 1, you've got a 2? Andile, who used to be a 1, has she then been demoted? Are these conversations you're having with your team? Where are you with the Andile conversation at the moment?
I think for this first game, we decided that both goalkeepers are going to play the match. We decided that was going to happen. We haven't decided what we're going to do going forward.
But so you don't have, most teams, Coach, and you know this, you've been around for long enough. We'll have, Hugo Bruce says it all the time with his team, perhaps, to say, Ronald Williams is my number 1, and Bailey at the moment is number 2, etc., etc. You don't have a number 1 and number 2 with your team. It's based on what? On current form? Is it based on what's happening at the club? What is whoever it is that you're selecting to play based on?
Look, sometimes it's based on the opposition we face as well. But before the game, we decided that, that's what we were going to do, to give Andile a game and to give Kaylin a game. And, going forward, obviously, like you say, we have to look at how we're going to do that going forward.
But she's still largely part of your plans?
Oh, yes, of course. Why wouldn't she be? We've called her in, both goalkeepers, actually all 3 goalkeepers, and the others out there, the likes of Rigo, who's currently not available because she's got a contract. She's a teacher. Danae's being part
Tanzanian team that by all means we should be able to beat, but like the coach says, if you watch the World Cup, then you know that there's no such thing as minnows in world football anymore. Coach Des?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
No, terribly sorry. You were still telling us about Andile.
So I said it's not only Andile, we have a group of goalkeepers, and we select the goalkeepers because they're part of our plan, But for this game, we decided to go 1 with Kaylin, 1 with Andile.
And having done that, you come out of that more confused as to who you're going to go with, or did that answer a lot of questions for you?
Let me be honest with you. I haven't even looked at the footage. I haven't looked at anything because it's still time to process all of that, as we're also busy preparing for another game come in the next couple of weeks.
There's one thing, though, Coach, and I've known you for a very long time, and I'd like to think you're a fair coach. I'd like to think you're a coach that rewards excellence, that rewards players that show up. There's so much we admire about you, Coach, and throughout this interview, I've been telling you exactly how well I think you've done in that. But there was one thing that had me a little confused, and that was the selection of Janine van Wyk as part of your team. Because the last time I saw Janine play, and you can correct me in this, I was there with you in Durban versus Brazil. That's the last game I remember. This is pre some of the games you played for the World Cup. This is, missing out on the World Cup as well. I was surprised to see that call up.
Okay, she did. We did also make a prior selection before the World Cup, and she had withdrawn because she was injured. She had communicated to me afterwards that she wanted to retire. And we all know that Janine is 2 caps away from the African record. And it's not just a record for her, but it's a record for women's football in the country, a record for women's football on the continent, And I wanted to really help her get those 2 caps, And I said that during the interviews, during our media day, that we will reward our legends, when they announced that they're going to retire. I saw a fantastic send-off for the Americans. Yes, that was in international friendlies, but I saw a fantastic send-off for them as well, and it really blew me away.
But the coach, why not give her those 2 caps during the COSAFA that was being held here?
Look, we all know what happened. We were trying to put squads together, and some players were not available, and others were not available. And at the last minute, we got players to play, and unfortunately, that didn't happen.
The reason I struggle with this a little bit, then, coach, is number one, these were 2 qualifiers, but number 2, does this then mean she was selected not on merit, but as almost as a thank you?
Look, as I said, we would like to do that for all our legends. I think, the legends that retired deserve because of what they've done for the country. We haven't had conversation with others, but it's in the pipeline to be able to do that for them.
I'm assuming by that you're speaking about Mpumi Nyandeni.
Yes.
So it is in the pipeline. We're going to see her also get her. I don't know. Coach, and you've earned every single cap you got. Does it not cheapen it? Does it not weaken it? Does it not mean it wasn't earned if it comes like that?
Look, there's no space to have an international friendly. I mean, players are stop playing. When do you then honor them? When do you then say thank you? Because the US had an international friendly. All our FIFA dates are fixed with qualifiers for Olympics, qualifiers for WAFCON. There's no space in between.
How did you feel then when Janine, not playing in that first match, leaves camp and then sends out the tweets that she sent out?
Look, I can understand how frustrated and angry she was. I can understand all of that. And, I had promised her 2 caps, and unfortunately the time just got away from me. And it's very difficult, the situation, especially with her feeling aggrieved. And I can understand that, so for that, I just looked forward to just focusing on the game itself, which was very shortly after that, making sure that we get over that hurdle, and then after that, try and sort things out.
Does this mean the door's still open then for those 2 caps? I mean, she is retired.
Yeah, look, the door is still open. The door is open for other legends that are going to retire as well, to make sure that they get a well-deserved send-off.
And for Janine in particular, is it still open for her 2 caps?
It's still open for her, yes.
Even though she's retired now?
She said that she was retiring from international football, yes.
I mean, it's a very difficult position that I think you're putting yourself in, Coach, but I hope you're able to manage it and come out of it. One more thing on this. Is it a Coach Desiree thing? Is it a South African Football Association thing that you want to do this?
Look, Janine had contacted me and said that she was going to retire. And I think for everything that she's done for women's football, I think it was well deserved. It should have been well deserved. I think she deserved something like that. Unfortunately, as I said, the time just got to me, and when I wanted to make the substitute, the referee had blown the whistle. So I just feel that we also need to honor our legends, and she's the one that reached out to me. No one else has reached out to me yet.
Yeah, but also I think leadership, and Janine is exactly that. Leadership is in reaction as well. I don't know how, behind closed doors, you and the rest of your team will feel about how she reacted and leaving camp in particular. One of those caps could have perhaps been gotten in the following match, but nonetheless, here we are. And it's one of those situations, Coach, where a coach doesn't want to deal with that. You want to deal with current players, you want to deal with what you're facing, but it's a quagmire that I hope you're able to maneuver out of. I wish you the very best of luck. with the Olympic qualifiers, Coach, and I wish you harmony in your team after everything that they've settled. By the way, post the World Cup, is everything in camp settled? Have the girls, since recovered from that trauma of pre-World Cup?
Well, you see the action on the field. You see, the determination and the will to want to do well, because they're not just doing it for themselves. They're doing it for that young girl out there. How they speak about doing it for the nation. And I think they know how important it is. And I think, we as a unit, we're trying to make sure that we're there for the players.
Last one, because I was rather confused. There's been a change to your technical team as well. The one day you were playing and I looked to my left and I saw Coach Lulu with me. I didn't want to probe, but I then wondered, have you made a change to your technical team that now sees Coach Lulu not part of that team?
They were just brought on to assist us during the World Cup. It wasn't only her. It was Coach Sinesipo, extra analyst. It was also an extra physiotherapist to help us with the
Oh, so it was a special project just for the World Cup?
During the World Cup, yes, during the World Cup, to give us extra hands, because we all knew that we were going to be in camp really, really long.
Coach, I'm always in your corner, always a big fan of this whole team. Very, very special place, very close to my heart. And I'm coming to France. I'm booking my tickets now. No pressure. Please don't make me go watch other nations. I'd want to see Banyana Banyana in France. I'm booking my tickets right now, and all the best moving forward. You are a pride of this nation.
Thank you for having me.
Coach Desiree Ellis, coach of Banyana Banyana. There is currently a game underway. It's 2-2. It's raining goals, I tell you. It is absolutely raining goals. It is a 2-2 now. Lyle Lakay again, I think it's a brace now, getting SuperSport back level. They are playing TS Galaxy. Galaxy are at home in this match, but it is 2-2. Unfortunately, I don't have it on my screen, so I can't really share with you the details of what is going on in that match there, but it is 2-2 at the moment. 4 goals have been scored in such a short space of time in that match there. TS Galaxy hosting SuperSport United. 2-2 is the current score at the moment. I'm trying to see if I can get the goal scorers. It's definitely a Lyle Lakay brace for SuperSport. It is Vidal as well as Mojela who scored for TS Galaxy in the 9th and the 20th. 27 minutes, well, 37 minutes have been played now, but 27 minutes is what it took to score the 4 goals. I love it when it rains goals in this way in the DStv Premiership. Cape Town Spurs versus Orlando Pirates is still coming up as well. So how much is this going to change anything? Because when you look at where TS Galaxy are at the moment, they're in 8th, SuperSport United are in 3rd, and they're trying to put pressure on Sundowns. But remember that SuperSport United, with 10 games, depending on what happens in this match, can either remain on 19, go to 20 if it's a draw, or 21 if they win this match. But that's all going to depend on the outcomes of this. Sundowns leading on 24 with 8 games, so they'll have 2 games in hand to that. TS Galaxy will maintain their top 8 position. This is all before Orlando Pirates plays, of course. Orlando Pirates in 13th at the moment. They're going to be playing a team that is rock bottom, Cape Town Spurs. I can't remember. I don't even think, I must ask Opta Jabu on Friday. I don't remember this. I don't remember a team after 8 games having 0 points. Not a draw, nothing. 8 straight losses for Cape Town Spurs, that is. 8 straight losses is what they have at the moment. So I can't say I remember that. I don't remember seeing that. If you have, please do update me and let me know. They've conceded 17 goals, scored only 5 goals in those matches. Real trouble there for Cape Town Spurs. How much longer will this continue? If they're to change it, they must beat Orlando Pirates. We just had an interview with Coach Desiree Ellis. Spoke about everything Banyana. Nicole Michael stepping up when big-name players weren't available, the likes of Jane, Noko Matlo, Bambanani, and the Mbane twins as well. All of them unavailable, and there she is stepping up and assisting in the 2 goals. But then it was the big matter as well of Janine van Wyk, who gets a call-up because she needs 2 caps in order to eclipse and become the highest, the most decorated player in Africa, right? But in order to do that, she needs to play 2 games. She's a retired footballer. South Africa wants to reward her by just giving her caps unearned. What do you think? And then she brought up the fact that Janine called. So Mpumi Nyandeni, we had her here on the show and she asked for her 1 cap. So Mpumi, call the coach. Clearly, she says it's something that she's going to be doing with all the legends to reward them. So Mpumi, please, call the coach. Get your 1 cap as well. Let's equal the stage then. But I just think it's a rabbit hole that the coach doesn't want to go down. And I said that to her because there's going to be people that need their 30th cap, their 10th cap, their 50th cap, their 60th cap. And I'm not sure if there's enough friendly games in order to do that. To give away caps, essentially. Unearned. Because it clearly means you weren't good enough to be called to get those caps. And once you've gotten those caps, do they mean anything when they're just given to you and you're just going to walk off onto the field with a minute to go, don't even touch the ball sometimes, and you get your cap? Do they still mean anything? Does that record still stand, really? When we look at that record and we say, oh, 200 caps, do we feel that it's 200 well-deserved caps? I don't know. I personally don't think so. I think Janine coming on in those last 2 games and playing 2 minutes, a minute, in order to get those caps would have been a cheat, really. It would have been a cheat. You know, she's a retired player, first and foremost. She didn't earn it, secondly. I don't know. Just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. What are yours when you hear what the coaches had to say? Let's have the conversation. It's 086-000-2160. WhatsApp on 060-552-7303. Top of the show, I played you coach of Orlando Pirates speaking about Pirates up front as far as goals are concerned, how they're not scoring goals and they need to be scoring goals. And he speaks about Evidence Mahopa in particular. We played you Rolando Mokoena answering Egyptian media about them speaking about cheating in South Africa and the referee giving Sundowns the game. All of it we can have a conversation about.
All right, here we go. Call Metro FM now on 0860 002160. Drop us a voice note on 060 552 7303.
Waking up, too turned up. And the Banyana Banyana coach, Mama Desiree, it's Papa Princess here in Bloemfontein. I just wanted to ask her, just a simple question to say, if she had to take one thing to inspire Banyana Banyana from the Maboko Boko national team, what will it be as an inspiration to her team? Just one thing that will say, I'm taking this home and give it to Banyana, to qualify for the Olympics. Thank you very much.
First and foremost, I would like to say congratulations to my Pogo. They do us proud, and also I wish good luck to Mamelodi Sundowns to just get a draw in order to qualify for another round.
It's up.
It's Tep again.
Hey, there we go. I'm Tepan.
Yeah, Tep Masala from Benzo.
Talk to me, boy.
Andile.
Yes, sir.
Let's be honest, I heard what you said and what our other listeners said. Janine van Wyk, there was a time where she was called and she didn't even want to go there. You know the story with South Africa, SAFA. There was a time where players are not paid. There's a time whereby she did it because of the patriotism. So she was paying the country when she was able to. Now that she's not able to, she just needs the country to say, just 2 caps so that I can be able to beat this person. Is that really difficult to give her? Especially when the promise was made.
Yeah, you know what? I have, and what you're saying now is what every single player goes through. Every player goes through problems and troubles in their career, be it injuries, be it an inability to travel, be it just not being on form and not being called up. That's all part of the game that calculates and culminates in the caps that you earn at the end of the day. Now you've earned the caps you've earned. It's ended there. You are now not good enough to be called into the squad. You get called so you can run out onto the field for 1 minute or 2 minutes max, maybe 5 minutes. That is a worthy cap that you think you would want. That's a pride of something that you would hold up and say, yeah, I played 185 games. Key.
It might not be a worthy cap today, Andile, but in 10, 20 years to come, believe you me, it will be a worthy cap. There are games that were appeared to be useless to by Portia Modise. Then she scored goals in those games. Today, we respect even the players who were not there when Portia scored those goals. They respect Portia Modise for the record, because what matters is the record, and the record will matter in 20, 30 years to come.
Let me ask you a question. If there's a derby, right? And Zakele Lepasa needs one goal in the derby to make history. Is it okay for Chiefs to move out of the way so he can score that goal? To do him a favor, to let him get something he doesn't deserve or hasn't earned.
Now you are raising a valuable point, but now I'm just gonna use your point to say that.
Please. No, hold on, Tsepo, hold on. I want to hear you clearly. You're not clear at the moment. I think the line is just breaking. Try again.
No, I'm saying that you're raising a valuable point. That is a very good example, and I'm going to use that.
Please.
So now there is Zakele Lepasa, who's on the same par, maybe with a certain player from Chiefs, and this is the last game of the league, and Pirates get a penalty. And Zakele Lepasa is not used to playing penalties. They're saying today we're going to give you a penalty so that you can become a leading goal scorer. It has happened many times, and those have been valuable goals to any player.
I hear you. Let's agree to disagree on this one, but I love the very logical conversation we've just had. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andile.
I appreciate it. Let's go to West. West is in Tembisa. West.
Mr. President.
West, nange feel holiday Monday, man.
Mr. President, now I want to give you the flowers while you're still alive, my man. I mean, you gave us the best rugby ever, and I was very fortunate yesterday to welcome the Springbok at the OR Tambo. Yeah, and it happened that my wife, she's in the very same flight with the Springbok team from Dubai.
Wow.
So it was amazing, yeah.
That is incredible.
So, yeah, but I mean, we must give it to the guys, and I mean, the nation is very proud. They managed to give us the holiday. I mean, we've got a holiday. Let's see if the Springbok can do the same. I mean, the president, Ramaphosa, must be consistent. If the
Proteas win, you want another holiday?
What's going to happen?
Argasbereke mo country West.
Control. But otherwise, I mean, I'm so disappointed about what Desiree has done. I mean, I didn't understand why Desiree did give a freebie in terms of a cap to Van Dijk.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of young girls that are actually performing in their own teams. I mean, as I always say, select players by merit, not by doing favors because somebody needs to break a record. It doesn't work that way. That will never grow our football. But I mean, I always say she has been a great coach for the ladies, and yeah, I guess it's a mistake that she did, and she must just I will say man up and just apologize to us. I mean, we spend our time. And also we're looking at developing. I mean, we don't want to be seen as, the upcoming. We are already there.
West, you make a very good point to say that one slot could have been somebody else's first cap. That's a very good point. Let's go to Mulalo. Mulalo's out in Fort Lawrence. Mulalo, don't hold anymore. Speak, Chief.
Okay,
Hey, Mulalo. Cape Town Spurs.
What's up,
I know I'm easy, man.
No, that's cool, my guy. I'm a very diehard fan of Kaizer Chiefs, but I'm so saddened by the situation at Cape Town Spurs.
What's the problem?
Going 8 games with no points. You know what I think here is the situation, man? Those guys, they haven't played Kaizer Chiefs yet. Hence, they are in that situation. I'm telling you.
No, man, I can't do this. No, man, I can't. I bumped into 2 guys today, and I had a very lengthy conversation at a garage on what is it, on Jan Smarts, I think. And they were going on about Chiefs. I can't laugh at Chiefs jokes, so I'm hanging up on you, Mulalo, because you're gonna make me laugh at Chiefs. But Chiefs, what on comb. Let me ask you this then. You are seeing the mistakes that your goalkeeper's making. Itumele Nkune's got the sort of record that he's got. Vuma, just since being at Kaizer Chiefs, has hardly played. So what do you think should happen in the goalkeeping department?
I know, man. The only thing that needs to happen is to change. I mean, I don't even understand what happened to Vuma, because Buma, remember when he was dropped, Meritogo African Cup of Nations, he was called, even though he didn't play. But when he came back, he was never given an opportunity. Not ever again. I don't know the sin which he committed, but whatever that they are punishing him for is not actually working for us. It's totally working against us. They should give him a chance. I mean, all the goalkeepers are giving us a problem. Even Kune, he was laid off for quite some time, got the injury, got the knee. But at the moment he was brought back, I think he costed us 2 or 3 games. Like that. They dropped him and they put Peterson back in. And now Peterson is doing, I don't even know.
Morana, I appreciate you. There's one thing I can tell you for free as far as Chiefs is concerned. The day, look at how big football is right now. South African local football, the PSL, there's an energy about it. Imagine a dominant Chiefs during that time. Imagine what that would do to South African football. I can't wait for that day. And it's coming. I don't know when, I don't know under who, but it's coming. Let's go to Alberton. Kurisho's there. Finally. Kuriso.
Andile.
Hey, man, talk to me.
Look, listen, I share the same sentiments with you. But I think who Desiree Ellis, she's been controlled. It's not a decision. And I've got a problem with coaches who have won so much and still think of by the stomach. She's scared to lose her job. I mean,
but I asked her whose decision it was, and she says it was her decision.
I was listening, Andile. I don't think it's a decision. That's why, for example, coaches like Peter won't coach at Chiefs because they come with their backroom staff. They don't be told, hey, you have got this assistant, you've got that assistant that's going to do it. So, because he has achieved a lot, So he must come up with his own backroom staff. Just like Desiree. She must stand the ground. She must stand the ground. You can't just go around giving people caps just because they want to surpass records while they don't deserve to be there. And there's a lot of players that you can call to say, listen, come and get this cap, come and get that cap.
Because Hakilimo 19, Nikilimo 4, Giligo 29, 39, then I want to think about a nice round, thank you.
Whether you play 3 games, you've contributed to the success of the national team. It doesn't matter whether you played 80 games or whatever the case might be.
That's your story. That's what you did. That's what life gave you.
Exactly. We don't just go giving people and to make matters worse, she came out of camp and retired. So how do you then say you want to give that person a call up while she has left the camp? That's clear discipline. You can't be calling a player like that.
You know what I mean? Thank you to Coach Desiree for coming on and for you for engaging in the conversation. I really do appreciate you. And when we do meet and we have conversations in the street, I love the respect in which we have those conversations, and I hope that continues. I hope to be here for a very long time. And I'd love to see you and I have conversations now, 10 years later, when you say to me, do you remember when I said 10 years ago? It's a kind of relationship that we're growing here, and it's one that I treasure dearly. Timmy, olaparacho, pela, Nantsomi.